right. Well, welcome.
Welcome.
Welcome. You're supposed to do it with me.
Whoops. Good
Well,
grief.
we quit. Welcome back to the Unhinged BookCast. This is a book podcast hosted by two book besties. I'm LJ.
And I'm Jess. Whether this is your first time joining or you've been here from the start, we are happy and thankful that you are joining us.
Whether we're deep diving into thoughts and theories or just writing the vibes, we love discussing our current reads with each other and now with all of you.
Tonight is our first discussion of Kingdom of Claw by Demi Winters. This is book 2 in the Ashen series that we are currently reading through.
We'll be talking about chapters 1 through 27. As long as you have read the first book and through this chapter section, you will be free from spoilers.
And happy release day of book 3, Dawn of the North.
We'll be getting into that one in just a couple of weeks, so no spoilers.
Speaking of spoiler-free, you can join our discussion spoiler-free chapter by chapter in our club on the Fable app.
While you're at it, please do all the things, liking, following, and subscribing on all our platforms for the Unhinged BookCast. It helps us grow and reach new friends.
Before we get started, we need to give a quick content warning.
We are reading romantic fantasy books, which tend to include violence, cups of vampire juice, wink, wink, and the occasional roll in the furs.
Though our conversations tend to skirt these topics, we do frequently use naughty words that are not intended for little listening ears.
Now that we've got all that out of the way, let's get started.
Okay. All right, so characters. Mostly new characters. Again, so many names and new characters in this series. I feel
We're
like
starting a new
every time we
book.
read, it is a new book.
Yeah, but
There's a
I
lot
am
of
just as
characters
shocked.
in this
Well, I think
series,
it's like
though.
we're also adding like a POV too,
We are. Oh, we
which
did.
like adds its whole own stuff.
Yeah,
I
there's a
feel like
whole
we
parallel story going on
right.
now. Yeah.
I feel like we're now reading Tower of Dawn in the series.
I know, I thought the same thing.
Totally different place, different character with all their new characters and things going on, but it's the same things
Same
going on.
time. Yeah, same time period. Same everything. Um, okay, so from our new point of view, from Saga's point of view, so we get Lady you're listening
Giara.
to it. Oh goodness, that is not how I was saying that. Giara. Okay, I was saying Gyra or something like
I
that.
don't know. I was listening at one point like 3 point speed, and I'm not very good at that. So I thought it was Giara, but
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. We'll go with that, Lady Giara. And this is the high, is it Gothy or Gothy from the book?
Gothy.
Gothy. Okay, so the High Gothy's a pious new wife. New
And
wife.
why is she new?
I know, I was
Where'd the
wondering the
old
same
one
thing.
go?
Yep, had the same thoughts.
Hmm.
Then we
And
have,
the
oh,
description of
go
her
ahead.
in the description of her in the book makes it sound like she's like younger and like
Yeah,
has this auburn hair with braids, but like in the audio, like the lady does her voice like as if she's like an old crony lady, and it's kind of
really?
funny. Yeah, and I'm like, this is kind of strange, but
Yeah, I imagined her.
I
They
imagine
said
her
she was like
younger.
quite a bit younger. Isn't she? She's supposed to be like 20 some years younger than he is, or whatever,
Uh-huh.
or I could be also imagining that detail. Who knows?
Yeah,
But yeah, I think they described her as younger.
yeah, that plays into my thoughts later.
Okay. Okay, and then is it Ursa?
Ursa,
Ursa. Okay, and this is King Ivor's daughter, which
his
like
firstborn.
yes.
So she's almost 18. Bjorn is 13, and Haver is 2 years old.
Yeah. Okay, and then Thorer? Thorer?
Thor.
Thor. There's too many syllables that should not be together there.
I know.
Thor should be Thor, and there's an extra IR at the end.
Thor the giant.
Thor the giant. Really, we don't know a whole lot about him. But I have this feeling that he is going to be a big player. I don't know why.
Are you getting good or bad vibes? I'm so sorry I'm yawning.
I don't know. I don't know. I kind of get like a good. I think I'm getting good vibes, like gentle
Okay.
giant kind of savior
But
kind
he
of
wasn't gentle.
thing. Was he the one that wasn't gentle? I thought it was
No,
the
he
go
wasn't.
Gothy or
The
Gothy or
Gothy wasn't
whoever.
gentle either, but I thought he was the one holding her, and then like he's the one that just like
Okay,
throws the
maybe.
big old goat up on the altar and stuff.
Maybe. I
I
don't
don't
know.
remember. And then do you
I
want me to get the
don't
next
know.
one?
Go for it.
Cassander.
Cassander.
Cassander. Rurik.
Who is he?
Oh,
Tell us about him.
I was trying to remember how it said.
Oh, okay. I thought you were done. Okay, you want to hear? I was saying it. Zagadakian.
Zagadaga. Zaga.
Again,
Zaga man.
too many freaking syllables.
Oh my God.
Zagadakian. Zagadakian.
Oh my goodness. We have done lost our
It's just
marbles.
really fun if you say it fast.
Zagadaga. I feel like you're like trying to turn a motorcycle on.
Yes.
Zagadaga. We have done lost it. Okay. So this is Zagadagadan is a man that follows Saga around the tower, but I think we've both decided something more. He's also the
Mm-hmm.
one that like makes the deal with her that like he wants a map of the
Tunnels and
passageways and tunnels and stuff, and
yes.
he's gonna help her with the stuff. But like the Zagadagadan are like a different I can't like
I was
a
literally
different country,
saying it
whatever.
outside or out loud to myself every time it came up on my Kindle. I'm just downstairs reading it at like 11 p.m. by myself, and I'm like, Zagadakian. Fun. Okay, sorry. I derailed your
Okay, you
actual
do
thought.
the next one. I've lost it. I'm done.
Okay, then we have King Harold the Hard, which is
Hmm.
King Ivor's father, um, and he's the ruler of Norvaland, right?
Hmm.
Okay. I don't know why that detail seems to. Maybe I have a thought about that now.
Yep.
Okay.
And then they have the Uprenza,
Aha.
which I probably still didn't say that right, but she
Mhm.
said it something like that. And then the old word for the uprising are the rebels and those who stand against King Ivor.
Ivor. Okay.
Yep. Yep.
Um, who
And
is
it
this guy?
sounds like a
Oh,
lot of
yeah.
them are Galdra.
Yeah. Yeah, the rebels, yeah.
Hmm.
I would say
Yep.
I'm getting that idea that majority of them are.
Yeah.
And then Lord Yuri
Yuri,
Rovgalod? Rovgalod?
Rav Gold,
Sure.
Rav for short.
Rob for short. Yep. And he's part of Rurik Orcas's Drazina,
Yep.
which is like his posse, his retinue,
His posse,
his cadre. Who
his
knows?
cadre. I
I
like
like
it.
that word.
Me too. And then we have Vig and Rooney,
Hmm.
the warrior siblings that Ray had sent to fetch Scylla from Ister, but they're like childhood friends of Ray.
Hmm. Yeah, and they live in what is that place?
Calisgard.
Calisgard.
Yep.
And then Harpa, and
Nope.
that is nope.
She
Yeah.
says a Harper.
Oh, Harper? Really?
Uh-huh.
There's no R at the end of that.
I don't know, dude.
Harper.
It's weird.
Okay.
They're like Icelandic words,
True.
Icelandic, whatever.
Yeah.
Well, she says
Nordic.
it sounds like Harper.
Okay. Harper.
I don't know.
Um, and that is ultimately Ray's grandma.
Hmm.
Um, and she's also like the Galdra instructor
Yep.
and a
And a
weaver. Oh,
weaver.
sorry.
Yeah. And a weaver.
She's an interesting character.
Hmm. We have Brown Horse, which is Scylla's mount that they stole from the
Wolf feeders or
wolf
whatever.
feeders or whatever, like a legion
Wolf's
of
head
warriors.
feeders
Yeah.
or yeah. Yeah, I thought that was hilarious. We have horse and brown horse. Now I want to know what color horse is because I always imagined horses being brown.
He's white or
Oh,
she's
horse
white.
is white?
Yeah, horse is white. She's
Oh,
white.
damn it. I hate white horses. Now I don't like this.
But she's the
Okay.
sweet one. And then you have Rika, the smoke spirit that hangs out in
I
Grandma's
also found
cottage.
that interesting and somewhat random.
I don't, but
I'm like, this is the first time, like, all the gods and spirits and stuff, but Rika is the only one that we just like, she's just like there, like a part
mm,
of everyday life.
mhm.
Okay, we'll save it. Apparently,
Okay.
you have thoughts. Okay, and then we have the tailor, and that is a Smith Galdra and the one who made Ray's armor, his fancy armor. I think we're gonna see more of the tailor as we go on.
Oh, you think so?
I do.
Oh, okay. The tailor and what do they call it? The smith.
Well, he is a smith because the smiths are a type
Oh, right,
of
right, right, right,
Galdra.
right. Okay.
Okay, and then we have King Hrolf.
Rolf. Yeah.
Rolf. Um, put the name on there. I can't remember who he is. Why did I put him in there?
Wasn't he the king in Scylla's like awakening or whatever we're
Yes, yes,
calling
yes, yes,
it?
yes. In her cohesion right thing.
Yeah.
Her ancestor, we assume, of some sort. And then we have Brita, which is his wife, also
Hmm.
in the little thing. Hmm.
Yep, 20.
Okay, and then chapter 20, we have Anna, and she is this girl slash woman in the
Slave,
palace.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, thrall is what they call them.
Hmm.
Yep. And she offers to help Saga with the like intercepting letters and stuff like that. Um, when I took this note, I said probably a rebel, but we did find out she is
Yeah.
a rebel and a Harefoot.
Yep. So she can be really, really fast.
Yeah, which we'll talk about like what all the different Galdras are and stuff like that later, but that's a type of power that they have.
Yeah. And then I just want to add in here we found the Weavers. So we know of possibly two, the one from the first chapter and then
Mm-hmm.
Grandma. And it seems like they're like oracles of sort. Like they go into this trance after they get their blood
Yeah,
and then they like weave
the
the past, present, and
threads.
future. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they make these tapestries, which
Mm-hmm.
comes in later.
Yeah, there's
So,
a lot of tapestries later.
mhm. All right. So let's go on
Europe.
to, yeah, location, also known as map brands. I don't really have much for map brands, but I do want like a more zoomed in map, but that's just me.
Yeah, I agree. Mm-hmm. It's a pretty decent map, though. Pretty easy to understand, I feel like.
Yeah. Yeah. Straightforward and to the point.
Mm-hmm.
So we have Calisgard, that's where Scylla and Ray are. And then we have
Also,
Habric's,
where Ray grew up,
yep, and
kind of.
Habric's Hammer, which is like it's in the Black Canyon where they stay that one night. And it's just like the most narrow part of it.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have Copa is where Jonas still is, very
Mm-hmm.
dragony. And it's off of Brim, I believe it was, which I believe is one of the sleeping dragon volcanoes.
Oh, okay.
Hmm. And then we have Sunavik, which has Asperg Castle, and that's
Mm-hmm.
where Saga and that situation is going on.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I put in location, believe it or not.
Okay.
But I
I mean, it
need
must just be a
Saga's
good
map.
map. There's not.
Well, we don't have Saga's map of all the tunnels, and I need that.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I also need that. I'll make a deal with her like Cass did. All right, let's do histories and stories from the past. These are just things that we're learning before the current situation.
Hmm.
And I put in basically the entire prologue, obviously,
Hmm.
is history. And we have more to talk about it later in like clues and foreshadowing because it,
Hmm.
I feel like, played out this entire series of kind of what's going to happen. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
I started writing down all kinds of stuff from it, and then I was like, screw it. I'm just gonna put down the note of talk about prologue
We'll
because,
get there when we get there. Yeah.
yep. Hmm.
So then what else do you have for history?
Okay, so a couple things this time. So Saga gives, this is chapter 9. Saga gives Cass the history of the sleeping dragons and why they're called that.
And
She
this is
says, okay.
before that though. This is when they want a tour. She ends up
Hmm.
giving them a tour and she takes them into the tapestry room or whatever it is. And it has
Hmm.
a whole bunch of like busts and tapestries,
That
which is
tells stories.
interesting that tells stories.
Hmm.
Um, and they yeah, because they want to see the tapestries. Cass and his men are like
Yes,
asking to
which is like
see
a
the tapestries specifically.
random thing. Yeah, that's like a very random thing, I think, for a group of guys to be like, let's see the
Yep.
tapestries.
And then she's also
Yeah.
talking about in this room how like the arches are made of the rhyolite,
Yes,
which is
that was
what
made by the Galdra.
uh-huh,
Hmm.
which is what our weapons that the Blood Axe crew is carrying.
I thought that was Hindrium.
Nope. Hindrium is a type of
Oh,
metal that
Rhodia or Rhodia. Yeah, 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 yeah.
rhodium or something like that.
Rhodium is
Hindria
the.
is like
Hmm.
the shackles or whatever that keeps Goldra from using
That's
their
right.
yeah.
That's right. Okay. Yep, you're
So
right.
yeah. And then they also talk about like this glass or whatever that's like prismed glass the Goldra made,
Hmm.
which I think is interesting. I don't know why, but that's it. So I just kind of want to like set that up before you went into the
Yeah,
story of like this is
that's
kind of
fair.
what's all is happening all at once.
Yeah. So she's giving Cass the story of the sleeping dragons, which is the mountains, the
Hmm.
volcanoes. So she says, quote, "It involves our old gods. Legends tell us that long ago, the Isildurian god of chaos tried to destroy the world. And then it says Saga's vision grew unfocused as she tried to remember the tale. The great dragon
Hmm.
Kragiar woke, and with him the volcanoes, spewing ashen fire and opening the gateway to Mirker's underworld. With great effort, Sunvald was able to defeat Mirker and banish him back below."
Hmm.
I have some thoughts about that
Oh, I have lots of
later. And then we have a couple things out of chapter 10. We found out that Ray's father was a part of King Kjartan's retinue. And
thoughts.
King Kjartan is Saga and Issa's father. And so they visited the castle one time when Scylla was 2, Ray was 8. He ended up sort of babysitting, and that's how she gets the scar. Is she wants to play basically like Ring Around the Rosie, and she climbs up on a fountain and just starts spinning and falls off and hits her eye. Um,
Hmm.
that's how she gets this scar. And Ray was the one supposed to be like watching her when this happened.
Hmm.
And then we also learn about Tomas, her
Hmm.
adoptive father, and he
Not the
was
mama.
not the mama. He was King Kjartan's bodyguard, like his main bodyguard, it sounds like.
Hmm.
And Ray's father actually knew him pretty well, and then her adoptive mother, Ina, was actually her nursemaid when she was there, when she was 2.
And those are the people. And like, there's a line, and I didn't actually, maybe I did highlight it, but it says where she's kind of like spinning
Hmm.
that that Tomas and her nursemaid stole her. So
Hmm.
officially stolen baby.
Yep.
Woohoo.
Yep. Actual stolen baby
An
here.
actual stolen baby, and we called it. So
Yep. And then in chapter 15, we find out that Harper, apparently, not Harpa, raised Ray and his brother when they fled north after King Ivor killed their parents.
mhm.
And then Harper tells Scylla, I have this. Okay, so I have this whole thing. I'll try and summarize it instead of reading the whole thing because it's long.
Yeah.
But anyway, so Harper tells Scylla the history slash origin of the Ashen, which I found interesting and I thought important.
Yes.
First of all, Harper starts off by saying it's a tale of darkness and light, of the balance between chaos and order. So basically, the short of it is Sunvald is the father of light. His wife is Stiarna or whatever,
Yeah.
which is one of the gods, and she's like the starlight god or whatever, or the mother star. And then their daughters are the moons, twin daughters, Mala and
Mhm.
Mara. Those are the moons. So those are all beings of light, order, and protection. And then Merkur, which is the god of like,
Hell, basically, or the
yeah,
underworld,
darkness.
whatever you want to
He's the
call
god
it.
of
Yeah.
chaos and darkness. That is Sunvald's brother. So
Hmm.
they're brothers. So one day, apparently, he tricks Sunvald and steals away his wife and daughters, steals away the mother of stars and the 2 moons, and
Hmm.
then basically imprisons them so that they can only shine at night. So Sunvald can never get to them during the day.
Hmm.
Um, and Sunvald became so angry that he just like shook the world basically. And he ends up banishing Merkur to the underworld, gets rid of him, but then he still can't get them back. So he shakes the world, and so stars fall from the sky, and
Hmm.
the ashes from the stars, like the stardust basically, everything it touched ends up now having some form of magic. So the Galder are touched by that. That's why the whole thing is like about ashes. So those people were touched by the stardust. And then also there's like some plants and trees. There's some specific ones they
Mushrooms.
list.
Yeah.
So it's the Hyarta trees, moonflowers, and snowcap mushrooms
Hmm.
are all those. And then also animals like the frost foxes, the fleeta, and the scarplings. And she says, and so on. So there's got to be some more of those too.
Yeah. Makes me
Um,
wonder about like the grim wolves and the wolf spiders and stuff like that.
yeah, yeah. And then she also then ties it into the Volsix and says that basically the Volsics contain like an additional blessing from Sunvald, and the gift is not understood, but is thought to be a formidable weapon used against Murker. So, and then Saga's like, or not Saga, sorry. Scylla's like, extra powers, what do you mean? Or like a weapon. And Harper says, this means, child, that Sunvald selected among all humankind your bloodline to keep order in the kingdom. A Volsic must always sit on the throne lest the kingdom fall into turmoil.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go.
Ugh. So kind of everything's topsy-turvy and we have to make it right again.
Here we go with the balance thing again.
Pretty much. That's what I'm
It's
thinking.
all about balance. Okay.
Mm.
Then the last thing here for history is we also find out that Queen, how do you say her name? Is it Signe? Signe?
Signa.
Signa. Queen
Signa is how
Signa.
it's in the pronunciation guide, but
Okay,
Signy is how
they say it.
they say it in the
Okay.
audio.
So we'll just say it's either one. I like Signa. Anyways, she, which is King Ivor's queen,
Mhm.
um, she was a Norvaland princess, and
Mhm.
King Harold the Hard, which is King Ivor's father, conquered their kingdom when she was a child and slaughtered her whole family, keeping her only to wed his son, Ivor, which is
And she had five
interesting.
siblings, which is, yeah, very interesting because it sounds like that's kind of what happened with
Like their things, like what they do, apparently.
mhm.
That's what happened to a saga.
And like with the gods and stuff like that. I think it was like the bear god tail.
Yeah, I
Is
have
that was
that
how it
too.
happened? Okay, yeah.
I put that
So
in clues and foreshadowing, but that,
yeah,
I guess that would
but
also be
it's
kind of history. I can just bring it up now. That one was short.
okay.
I'll just quickly read that tiny little blurb from the book. It says, so this is from chapter 3. Um, I think Saga is looking at I think a carving of some sort. Anyways, whatever she's looking at says it told the story of Urser, of how he defeated the Moonhound to claim the Great Forest and the Wolf Beast's wife as his own. So I don't know, is that what you were thinking of with
Yeah.
Urser? Yeah. So the whole like stealing other people for their wives is like a thing with
Mm-hmm.
them.
Yeah. I was thinking that too.
Mhm. Yeah. Okay, so since we're including possible
Yes. So
foreshadowing
we've
already,
already hit the
let's
clues
talk
and
about the
foreshadowing.
prologue.
Let's talk about the whole entire prologue
Mm-hmm.
because the whole thing is interesting. Because that's how we
Mm-hmm.
start this book is it's King Ivor 17 years ago and he's questioning this weaver because the weaver basically made him a tapestry of his past, present, and future, and it ends
Mm-hmm.
with him dying basically
At the hands of
um,
Galdra.
at the hands of a Galdra. And so um, it comes Magnus or he figures out that the reason that she won't tell him at first is because it involves her child
Mm-hmm.
or a child of hers. And so he has Magnus go, the heart eater, go fetch the
Mm-hmm.
child. And she ends up telling him, yes, you'll die from Galdra's hands or whatever. And that's all she tells him. And supposedly then she dies. And the meat eater Magnus has this child slung over his shoulders. And then Ivor's like, kill the child, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And I have thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So I
Yeah.
don't know if you do or not, but I do.
I do. And see, I don't know. I feel like I don't know if we want to save stuff for thoughts and theories and keep
We
rolling
might
with
as
this
well keep saving for
because
thoughts and theories. Yeah.
I think we both have a lot, and I think we maybe have some different ones and some that are quite
Yeah.
the same.
I
Um,
say we keep rolling and then we come back to it later.
okay, sounds good. All right, chapter 7. Back to I'm not gonna say it.
Jonas's point of
Jonas's
view.
point of view. I used more colorful language in my notes.
Yes, you did.
But he is in Copa still, and so I just found it interesting. He says that there's a large amount of dragons depicted everywhere on the
Mm-hmm.
paintings, the walls, the shields, even embroidered into the dresses of like the barmaids and stuff. He
Mm-hmm.
says there's just dragons everywhere, which is interesting to me. We've been in Copa, I feel like, for a while. We've seen a lot of that town. This is the first we're hearing about like all these dragons everywhere
I don't
in
think
it.
so. I think we heard about it more last time too,
I
but
think they
I could be
may have
wrong.
brought it up, but I feel like they really like pushed that point a little more
Definitely
in
pushed more.
that
Yeah.
part. Yeah.
And I think
Yeah.
this is like when he finds out that the sign that says that Ray is also wanted and he's the Slatari.
Hmm. Hmm. Yes.
And he feels like double betrayed. He's just really depressy and just
He is. He needs therapy,
he's
man.
in
Like
his thoughts and
bad.
feelings right now, man. And I mean, drinking, fucking, and fighting. I mean, it works.
Yeah, I guess that's his therapy. I don't know how
I
effective it is, but
I mean, you do you, boo boo.
yep,
He's in his villain era.
most definitely.
Yep.
Okay, so then my next two kind of all roll together. So this is from chapter 9 and also chapter 17. It kind of all rolls together.
Yeah.
So first of all, when Saga first encountered Cassander, I don't know, he was called Rurik for so long in the book, and then all of a sudden they start calling him Cass. So I kept calling him
Cassander, yeah.
Rurik. Yeah, Cass, Rurik, whatever. She can't hear any thoughts from him though. She like lowers her barriers and stretches out with her gift and cannot hear any thoughts from him. And
Yep.
he's the only person she's ever encountered so far that that's happened with. So
Yeah.
then moving into that, the Zagadakian prince, high
Mm-hmm.
prince.
Mm-hmm.
And oh, I think Saga is questioning Rogue, like, where is he? How come he didn't come? And he's like, oh, he can't do ships. He gets sick or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and this person's supposedly pretty old. And then there's the prince's heir, who also did not come, and I can't remember why.
They wouldn't let him
They
come.
wouldn't let him, right? He's too important or something or another. That person was not allowed to come. The prince gets brought, or the heir gets brought up a couple times. So then, like in chapter 17, Saga encounters him again in an empty corridor. And it was just as she was thinking about him. And this is like the second time that this happened. So I thought I'd throw it out here.
Yeah.
She's thinking about him and then he's there. And then she wonders out loud to him, like, if he's reading her thoughts because this seems to keep happening. And he doesn't answer her. Um, so I think that okay, this goes into my thoughts and theories a little, but we're here. I am going to say this. So I think that he is this heir,
Oh yeah.
and I think that he is also Galder, and that he has the same gift as Saga. So he
That he
knows
can
how
read
to
thoughts.
block it out. Yeah, I think he can read thoughts, and I think that he can block her out from
Yeah,
reading
probably.
thoughts. And I don't think he realizes that she can do it yet. I think that he probably just has walls up 100% of the time
Yeah,
in this other
probably.
land. So, yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Hmm. Okay. Chapter 11, the rebels' goal is to return the rightful Volscic heir to the throne. And they
Mhm.
believe that only a Volscic should sit on a throne. We kind of know why that is after talking with Harper,
Yep.
because they say that without a Volscic, the realm is unbalanced and chaos will continue to grow. Okay, so then um, I put that the letter about Skreda,
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember how it was found or whatever. Um, Maybe this is when Saga was
I think
trying to
that's
get
when it was like
the
in the trap door, is when she
okay.
found it.
Yeah. Okay. I think so too. So it's not very long, so I'm gonna read it real quick because I found it interesting and I want to talk about it. So it says, we've unraveled the mystery behind our poor results. It appears our samples were contaminated. An individual has confessed to letting a red-haired woman into the room 3 months past. We believe it was Scrata Clever Tongue who persuaded him, and that she made off with our most vigorous stock. As she would not have been properly washed, contamination ensued. It has taken us 2 months to understand our troubles. It'd be wise to send the Black Cloak after Clever Tongue and to speed our timeline. Svaldrin may be compromised. Signed, Meister Leka, whatever. The guy who does experiments.
So, do you remember in the last book when like the wasps come
Hmm.
and one like bites her nose like to test that it's her or whatever?
Oh yeah.
So, I think those are like the samples. And remember, there's the guy in the cloak, the dark
Hmm.
cloak is the one
Oh
that goes,
yes.
"This is her" or whatever.
Yes.
So, I think that's who they're talking about.
Well, I actually thought we met this Black Cloak person and actually were given the name that like this is the person because remember when Skreda talked with this person before and he was like, "You're done. It's my job now. I'm going after the girl."
No, that was one of the commanders
Okay.
when she got put out of, yeah, and then she burned the house down.
I don't remember.
That was one of the commanders.
Okay. Okay. I
I
like
mean,
that.
we
I
could be
thought about
wrong,
the,
but that's what
and
I
it's a
think.
minor-ish detail probably.
Maybe not. We don't
Maybe
know.
not. Who knows? But no, I think you're right. I do agree with you on the Black Cloak guy.
Yeah.
The wasp thing I didn't think about, but that's really good. I
Yeah,
was
because
thinking
yeah, I think
that
Stella even says like that's how they found me or whatever because
I do remember that.
she was saying something about the bee or something that found her in.
The tree trunk or whatever she was hiding in.
Yeah, but then there was another time before, so they had her blood or whatever.
Mm,
So
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
that's what I think.
Yeah.
That's how they were able to test it was her.
Okay, that makes sense. See, I was thinking that this sample or whatever was the little the vial of stuff that Skreda was trying to get Scylla to drink so that she could then take her blood with the little
Oh,
creatures in
maybe.
it. That would, yeah, take the Galder out of her blood or whatever, and then she could take it for herself. I thought that it had something to do with that.
Maybe.
Could be either
Could
one,
be. Could
both.
be
Who
either
knows?
one.
I
Could
think
be
we're
a
maybe
combination
onto
of the
something
two.
with both. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, chapter 14. Quite interesting. Harper not only knew Scylla's real parents, but taught them because they were
Hmm.
also Galdra, which I suspected
Hmm.
that part, but that was interesting to find out that she was the one who taught them how to
And
use their stuff.
this all strengthens my wild thoughts that we'll get into
Mm,
later.
I can't wait to hear them.
Yeah.
I don't have any
They're
wild
wild,
thoughts.
but
I'm putting pieces together, but I don't have any wild thoughts, so I can't
okay.
wait.
Yeah, I'm pretty surprised that this early in the game I've got some wild thoughts. I don't have a lot, but I've got some.
I'm not surprised.
I kind of am. Normally, well, I mean, I guess it is a second book in a series. So,
hmm Um, okay, chapter 19, the cohesion right. So Scylla sees this, we're assuming ancestor, because Ray said, you might see an ancestor, you might see a light, the other things will happen. So
mhm.
there's this ancestor in her vision with curly hair. I thought they said it was silver. I don't know if it matters, but
Thanks,
um,
Silver. Yeah.
yeah. And a very sad look on his face. So this is King Rolf,
Hmm.
and he's in the passageways, I'm assuming at the palace
Yeah.
in Askaborg or whatever, where Saga's at, because that's where they grew up. That's like the Volsics
Castle.
palace.
Yeah, in Sunavald or whatever. It's
Yeah.
the capital.
And when he does like he goes like 12 stones over and finds the one that also is what Saga one of the passages that Saga used. Like she does the 12 stones over and finds the one that opens a door. But then he does something more and he opens up this like spiral staircase that goes to the depths of who knows where.
Hmm.
And there's a book, a hide-bound book, just sitting there on like a pedestal, basically. And then he also has this like white hilted dagger. I think that's what it was. I couldn't remember if it was the hilt or the blade, but
I
special dagger.
missed that part, but yeah.
Yeah, he pulls out this special dagger and summons this dark one. This dark
Hmm.
one tells him he has a choice to make and he must make the right choice and he will give him back Brita because it seems like the dark one has his wife. Brita, I don't
Hmm.
know if she died or if she was stolen or what happened, but somehow he has his wife and he says a life for a life. And I thought it was going to be his life for her life, for the wife's life, but apparently there's a girl. We don't know who, but
Hmm.
a girl's life must be taken, a specific one. And he says, use the dagger. And
Hmm.
so it seems like he made that choice. And then the vision ends.
Yeah. This made me think of like some of the gods and how like the Dark One could be Murker,
Oh yeah,
the god of
I think for
chaos,
sure
and
that is.
then Sunavald and whoever Sunavald's wife was, and then the two moons were their daughters,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, because Brita or whatever, the wife in the vision, let's just call it, is like, yes, then you can be with us again, and
Yeah.
because she says us,
Okay.
not me, you can be with me, she says us, and so that was kind of like where I thought this is pointing to. And it could be, I don't know. Because remember how somebody said Ray's grandmother was God's blessed or something like that?
Moon
Moon
kissed or
blessed, moon kissed.
moon blessed. I think that's what it was. Moon
Yeah.
blessed. Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, okay, so we have like connections to gods here. So that's
Yeah.
kind of like, okay, if this is a great ancestor of hers, but I guess if I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm just saying.
Well,
That'd be
and
why
they're
she's
special.
special.
Like the Volsics are special.
Mm-mm. Because
Are they
they come
direct descendants from
uh-huh.
Sunvald and
That's why.
his wife? Yep.
Uh-huh. So
Yeah.
that's kind of where my brain is on that one. I don't really have
Yeah.
like actual thoughts and theories put together, but that's kind of where my brain's at.
Mm-hmm. That one put a little bit more together talking it out because I was like going there too and I couldn't figure out how to put some of that together. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then chapter 21. So again, we have livestock missing,
Mm-hmm.
without a trace. However, the like leftover pieces of wool from these sheep that went with missing, and the area that they went missing from
Yep.
smells like rot.
Right.
Hmm.
And I have thoughts, man, but this is like so one of the little boys got lost as well.
Villa or
Yep.
whatever.
And so we've been
Hmm.
looking for him
Yep.
and nobody can find him or whatever. And this is kind of like Ray's thinking this is what was happening in Istra. That's what he was supposed to be, or Istra, whatever. That's what he was
Yeah.
supposed to be going there with the Blood X crew to be like looking and fighting and figuring out this mist and all these types
Missing
of things.
creatures, missing people without a trace, but the
Hmm.
smell of rot, same thing. Hmm.
Yep. And so I have thoughts, man, but we'll get into those.
Okay. All right, and then so this is chapter 21 and then also in chapter 27. So in chapter 21, Scylla is going back to the house and she sees an ice, or she thinks she sees an ice spirit.
Hmm.
And then she sees this protection rune written in basically in ice on the pole of the barn, and but it's upside down. And she's just like,
Yep.
interesting. Okay, doesn't think anything of it. Then in chapter 27, Ray and Vig are investigating the spot where the missing sheep were, and they're coming back
They're
from
bringing
that.
a pile of
And
shit back.
yes, and Ray sees that rune, or Vig sees that rune, and he's like, huh, that's a protection rune. And Ray's like, no, that's a death rune. And
And
that's
that's where we
actually
leave
how our
them.
chapter end, how our whole chunk ends.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. But then yeah, I do have one more note, and that's in chapter 23. It seems like Saga and Scylla share dreams, which we already kind of
Yes.
suspected that last book, but it really seems confirmed here. Like not
Yeah.
just
Like
dreams,
current
but
events.
like yeah, it's not
Hmm.
just dreams. It's like they are seeing things through each other's eyes, but not.
Yeah. And I don't know when I thought about this or when it happened, but so it's right after like one of the Jonas chapters.
Hmm.
Saga is drawing somebody, and it sounds just like Jonas is who she's
Yeah.
drawing with like the talisman and stuff like that.
Yep.
And I'm
Yep. And the
like,
blonde hair knotted at the back of his
mm-hmm,
head. I caught that too. Hmm.
mm-hmm. And then like when she's drawing the field, when she's just waiting in the corridor, sounds like the same field that Ray is investigating.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm,
So speaking of, I mean, I guess let's get into quotes and honorable mentions now.
mm-hmm,
Because I put down, this was my only one for this. I put down what we learned, and I feel like I may have missed one or two, but what we've learned about the Galdra. So there's two different types. There's the warrior Galdra and the mind Galdra. So the warrior Galdra, we have the blade breakers. They have like great bursts of strength.
yep.
The Shadow Hound can play tricks with light and help them blend with the shadows, bend light, and reshape it to their will. Ashbringers, fire, smoke, burning things. They didn't give like a specific
Mm-hmm,
description, but we've kind of seen them a lot. The hare feet, which are capable of great bursts of speed, and then there's the smiths, and they can sever and forge the bonds of the world. I think the smiths sound super cool and
yeah.
interesting. Like, I feel like there's so many different ways that that ability can be used. I
Yeah.
hope we see more of it because that
It's
seems super
almost
cool.
like the opposite of the Weavers.
Yeah. Yeah. And then we've got the Mind Galdra. I can only remember three, but I feel like maybe there was another one. I can't remember. But anyways, we have the Solicers, which is what Skreda was. They can sense and manipulate emotions. The Readers, which is what I think Saga is. They can read people's thoughts, and I'm thinking possibly more. And I said
Yeah.
that because of what we just were saying about Saga. I
Yeah.
think they probably can read people's thoughts, and then at least in Saga's case, I think you're right. I think she not
Can
just
see what's
reads, but
going
like,
on
yeah,
almost.
they're kind of oracle-y.
But like current event
Yeah, not quite the same
oracly.
as the Weavers, where they
Yeah.
can like specifically see a future. But yeah.
Yeah.
And then we have the Weavers, and they can sense and read a person's past, present, and future through the threads of their lives,
Mhm.
with their blood, I
Yep.
believe. Yeah. But then I felt like I missed some of the Mind Gulcher. I feel like there was more than just three.
There might have been, but that's all I remember seeing.
Okay.
So, all
Okay. All right.
right.
Have anything else for quotes and honorable mentions?
Nope.
Okay.
So let's get into Love Island now that you are finally on the boat with me, with Ray and
I
Scylla.
have been on that boat for a minute. It just took me a second. It took
Okay.
me a second to get there. Much
Mm,
longer than you, for sure
okay.
longer than you, but
I called that one from the get-go, bro.
I'm still struggling with it.
Yeah.
I like Ray. I like Scylla. I don't know. They're not my favorite couple that I've read
Uh,
about.
Ray so far is one of my favorites.
Is he
So,
really? I
mhm.
don't know what it is about him.
He
I
sounds delicious and delectable and a gentleman.
Yeah, I agree. I do agree with that for
Hold
sure.
on, I will give you a quote real quick.
Okay.
Pause. I have a couple of them for you.
Okay,
The
let's hear it.
one, Ray had known Scylla was worthy of protection. He thought her one of the last good things in this cursed kingdom. I know you do not trust me, but I hope you know I wouldn't compromise your safety.
hmm I did also love when he was like sitting on the bench with his hands above his head or whatever, just chilling, and she's like, "Oh, there's a perfect Scylla-sized spot right there, and I'm
Uh-huh.
cold." And she sinks into him, and
Mhm.
then she says something to him. I can't remember what she says to him. Like, "Oh, you might have a soft side or something," and then he under his breath he mutters like, "Just for you, sunshine," or something like that.
Uh-huh.
I'm not
Yep.
saying I don't like him. I like him. I like him a
Oh
lot.
my goodness. Oh my goodness. I adore this man. He is not book boyfriend, he is book husband material, and I'm
That I
into
agree
it,
with.
man.
Yes, it
Okay, who
is.
else we got on Love Island?
All right. I'm thinking hesitantly. I'm saying Saga and Cass. I don't know though because I don't know what I think about him yet, and I have thoughts about him, good and bad. Um, but I have some serious trust issues now as far as love interests go with this book. Like, uh, I feel like give the benefit of the doubt more than I should in real life too, and I want to do that with him, but now I've got my guard up a little bit. So I don't know. What do you
Yeah.
think about them? Do you agree with me?
I think I agree with you. I don't
Do you
think I
think
know
they
either
are
way,
okay?
but I mean, it's definitely not going to be Bajon or whatever. Oh
Oh
my
no,
goodness. You know what else we need to talk about? Because Love
the
Island
talk.
and the talk. Yes, exactly.
I
And
was
I am
laughing out loud.
from now on calling it my honey pot.
Oh my gosh. When she puts the freaking spoon in her mouth, I lost it.
Oh my God, I was dying. I was laughing so hard.
And the
I
fact that Saga also laughed because she's like so
She's
pent
trying
up and
so
stuff.
hard to hold it in and she can't stop.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I know. I was
I
like,
am forever calling it my honey pot. That is the funniest thing.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah, that was something.
that and rolling in the furs. I
Rolling in the
absolutely love
furs.
both of them.
Okay, so this book also reminds me of a TV series, which actually is also a book called The Last Kingdom that I watched.
Yes, I watched the
Um,
first episode.
okay, so they in that book, I keep waiting for this in this one just because there's a lot of similarities. Like
Yeah.
the culture at least is very similar to that show, and they call it humping, and that's all they call it. And
Bing.
that was like the just the
Doing the
term
diddly.
back then. They just call it humping. That has
I
been the
mean,
joke around here
what
since
it
watching
is.
that show.
I mean, okay. With the honey pot. All right, so
Right?
thoughts and theories. So you go ahead and go on first.
Okay, let me find them. The way that during the whole like bloodletting ceremony thing to Ursa that
Oh yeah.
Saga went through and all that stuff. The fact that they if what I found interesting, okay, so like the animals they sacrifice on the altar and the blood just like flows all over the place. That was the image I had.
Yeah.
But then with Saga, they're capturing it in chalices. Like they're keeping it. And I'm sure it's the same for it seemed like that was like what they do. So it's
Yeah.
got to be the same. There's something going on with the queen, and I feel like she's got some major stashes of blood, and that's where these tests are coming in. And they even said that they, like they tested Saga for the Galdra abilities when she was younger.
Mhm.
Um, I don't know. I don't know what my thought actually is here, but there is seriously something going on with all this blood.
Yes, I agree.
And they're keeping it, and there's samples, and there's tests being done. Are they creating monsters? Are
Hmm.
they using it to enhance creatures that are already there? Are they using it? Is she keeping it? Is the queen keeping it and making herself stronger? Because also on the topic of the queen, when Saga and her are having their little conversation, when they have the talk and Saga is listening to her thoughts, the queen in her thoughts mentions having an enemy in your bed and how specifically talking about King Ivor, how he is like the enemy in her bed and she's going against him. And she talks about how, just be smart. Well, she thinks it. Just be smart and find your own research kind of thing to go against him or
Hmm.
whatever the agenda. And then finding out that she was also like also I think in that exact chapter and conversation, finding out that she was stolen away as a child to marry King Ivor. So she's also got a bit of a vendetta, I think, against him. I don't know if she obviously also has a vendetta against the Galder, I think. She's using him at least. I don't know if she's gonna
Yeah.
end up being like maybe not an ally, but maybe not the bad guy either. I don't know. Or maybe she is really bad. I can't
Yeah.
decide. But she's obviously very got a lot of hurt, a lot of issues, and does not like her husband.
Hmm.
She's got her own thing going on. I don't know what the thing is
Definitely.
fully, but yeah. Um, okay, Rorik. I kind of already said it. He's the heir.
Hmm.
He's there under the guise of being whatever, just like a Kingsman ambassador. I think he's Galdra. He's trying to get way too much information. Like you said, the tapestries. That also brings me to the tapestries. Like he
Hmm.
knows that something is going on. These tapestries, I feel like, are tapestries literally, because the weavers literally make tapestries when they're weaving.
Hmm.
And yeah, these tapestries are people's past, presents, and futures from
Hmm.
down the lines. And I think that somehow maybe Saga has also does have the Weaver ability and she's gonna be able to maybe read them, get answers. I don't know. There's I want to hear what you have on the tapestries. I'll let you because I'm sure your thoughts are a lot more cohesive than mine are on that, but I
Maybe, I don't
definitely
know.
grabbed onto the tapestry thing because I was like, that's weird. And Rurik, can't decide if he's trouble or not. But so then Scylla's vision about her ancestor, I feel like is somehow connected with the whole like we kind of talked about with the whole God of Chaos
Uh-huh.
trying to break the world thing. I feel like we talked about that a lot already. But yeah, is is that Sunvald? Is he her ancestor?
I think so.
I think so too. But did they ever have physical forms like that? I mean, why would he just be like this kingdom and then he's calling on the God of Chaos as his brother? I don't know. I guess it kind of could make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that would make sense why the Volsics are special. Um, my final little thought and theory, the missing sheep and the dead smell, all of that, and then the poop, big
Hmm.
giant thing that looks like a boulder.
And then the bed.
Um, and then yep, bedded down and all that. I'm thinking dragon of some sort.
Amen, sister.
Yep, I'm thinking dragon. It makes sense.
Hmm.
And it whole like them it just like eating them.
I've got so much more on my thoughts and theories in that, and it gets wild. So,
Okay, go for it. That was the end of mine.
okay. So, okay, I have to start at the beginning.
Yep.
Okay. And please, I have not read ahead. I obviously there's 4 books that aren't even out yet. Okay, so book 3 comes out today. Not when we're recording this, but the day this comes
Yeah.
out, it comes out. So I have not read that one yet. I don't know anything further than this chapter section, but this is how my brain works. So the prologue is obviously insanely important. Usually like the
hmm
first chapter or 2 in a book are just as important as the last couple of chapters,
hmm
especially in a fantasy book. So I went through the prologue, and so there's this weaver that's tied to a pillar that has seen his past, present, future, and all that. Okay. And King Ivor assumes that she has a child, but it says you don't want to tell me this because it involves one of like basically your kin, a family
hmm
member of some sort.
hmm
Um, which isn't agree or disagree. But then he's like, okay, she must have a child, find the child. And then the thing is it's off screen technically her death
Yeah.
and the child's death.
Yeah.
I think obviously the child is still alive, and I think that is Ray. And I
hmm
think that Magnus is basically raises him as his own. I don't think the Heart Eater is as bad as we think.
mm
And I think the Weaver is still alive, and I think that's Grandma.
I think that too.
And so that's when the Galdra started being attacked and stuff like that. So this would be like the beginning of the uprising or whatever. And that's when they ran to Copa. Um, and how the grandma didn't actually die when she went underwater. Remember, she's like moon
Yep.
blessed or whatever we talked about.
Yeah.
So who knows? Maybe she just like got herself out and swam away.
Yeah.
And that was what she was buying time for, is to just get out. And that's why she only told him that this is how you will die, kind of thing.
hmm
Um, and then I think that plays into how like the vision Scylla seen last time about when there was a couple different parts. And Scylla says like there's smoke and fire and stuff enveloping this man on the pillar, and it makes her happy.
hmm
I think Saga and Scylla work together to kill King Ivor,
hmm
and that's what makes her happy, and that's where like the ending of that comes from. Um, and then let's see what else we got. And then so it's how like Harper knew Scylla's parents, right? I said this, she taught them about their culture and stuff like that. So I think that's the Weaver was working there um in where are we? Asberg Castle or whatever.
Askaborg.
Yes. So that had to be the same Weaver. And so it had to be
Yeah.
grandma was working with them, and that's like she's the known Weaver in town or whatever.
Yeah.
That's how I think like all this like connects.
hmm
Um, and then yes, so going back into like the mist and what we were originally supposed to be figuring out in whatever it's called. Istra or whatever.
Istray or
Yeah,
whatever.
and
Yeah.
now we're it's having the same issues in Kalasgard. So obviously, we do like hunting and stuff. So that's what they're talking about when like all the grass is laid
Yeah.
flat. It means
The
an
bedding
animal is
down.
laid there for a
You and I
while
both are like, we know what
and
that
sleeping.
looks
We know
like.
what that means.
Yeah.
And it would make sense that it was like in the same area. So I think these are dragons.
hmm
I think it's still there. I think it is the mist.
mm
The dragons are in the mist. They create the mist, whatever type of
hmm
thing, and they are eating and they are waiting, and that's why these creatures are getting something is up with them. I think it has to
Yeah.
do with the dragons. And I think it's because there's like an imbalance or whatever. And so
Yeah.
Merker or whatever his name is, the god of
hmm
chaos or whatever, in like the underworld, he's able to let these sleeping dragons wake.
mm
And yeah, so now they're starting to branch out and cause chaos. So yeah,
hmm
that's kind of what I'm thinking. I could be totally wrong. I could be wild, but yeah.
No, I like that. I was on the same thought process. Like I said, you're better at putting the pieces together than me, but I was on the same track
That's all I got so far.
with all that. Yeah. Yeah.
But it
What do we
has
think of Rika, though? Do you have any thoughts on her?
Rika, the
Rika,
little
whatever.
shadow spirit.
Yeah, is it shadow or smoke spirit or something like
Smoke
that?
spirit.
Yeah. Why is she just hanging out with Harper all the time?
And like always has.
Seems like it. Ray's known her for a long time.
Yeah.
I
I
don't
don't
know.
know.
I don't have any like real thoughts. I
Yeah,
just
I
was
don't
wondering
have
if you
much.
did too. I just find it interesting that they're like the spirits are flighty. No one's ever like, well, it seems like no one's ever really like sees the spirits, but then she's just chilling,
Yeah, but that's why
just
like
there.
Scylla always left out offerings, like offerings for the old gods
Yeah,
and offerings for the
the
spirits. There were
spirits.
separate ones.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't know. And like the whole death symbol thing is
Yeah, what do we think of that?
interesting. I don't know yet.
Is it a warning of what's to come? Are they trying to help him get out before
Could be.
the bad stuff comes, or are they declaring war?
I don't know. I
I don't
haven't
know either.
decided yet.
Or are they also, or maybe the spirits are trying to give him clues about this whole like creature, whatever is going on with the things that are going missing.
Yeah. And they've obviously
Because,
got one of the dragons is still sitting there hanging out because
yeah,
Ray
because
can
Ray kept
sense it.
feeling it. Yeah, he kept sensing something.
And I still want to know why the fuck was Ray the one that was blowing up the mines? Like, yes, it was like he
Oh,
was
that's
supposed to
right.
just be doing these jobs, but why did he need to blow up the mines? Maybe so that they didn't have any more of the,
So
I
they
don't
can't
know,
burst him.
berserker powder. Yeah, burst skim powder to put in their super soldiers, or
Yeah.
because I don't think it's Signy that's doing anything with the super soldiers like Saga does. I think that
No.
is a King Ivor thing. And that's the thing is what is King Ivor's plan? King Ivor's plan is obviously just like the old grumpy old man. He's doing everything he can to prevent the
His
unpreventable,
death. Yeah,
right? And so
exactly.
he's literally just leading himself to his own death. And I think by having these super soldiers like to protect him and stuff like that, and like find the Galdra and stuff like that, and that's why he's trying to kill all the Galdra and stuff. So he's just basically making his death happen, and then like Signy, whatever,
Signe.
Signy, she's obviously like she's got her plan in place of how she's going to become in power because she should be the queen of the Norderlands.
Well, she
She
shouldn't
shouldn't be
even be
queen with
that.
this.
She was like third daughter, she said. She wouldn't even be that
She
queen.
wouldn't even been that. Yeah, but that's
Mm-hmm.
what she should be, where she should be. She
Right.
shouldn't even be here. And so she trying to conquer one kingdom at a time by, just
Mm-hmm.
biding her time and doing what she's supposed to. Like she's kind of telling Saga that she needs to do kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so it's like I don't know that Signy's bad, but at the same time, I think she's going to end up really, really bad because she also is just going after the power that she feels
Yeah.
she has. Because I
Yeah.
think she's also Galdra.
Yeah.
So
If not naturally, she's figured out how to steal that.
maybe. Yeah. I don't know if I'm on this she's stealing magic, but I don't know. I'm not sure
Yeah.
yet. So yeah, that's all I got.
Okay.
There's kind of some wild out there ones, but
I like it.
cool. What do we got for cry counter?
Nothing
And this is for
new.
the whole series. We're
For the whole
not
series,
starting
I'm
over.
still at a one for the whole series. Nothing
Okay.
for this chapter chunk, but
Okay. I'm at a zero still because I'm heartless, apparently. Oh, well. I quit. Do we just want to start the whole thing over?
Sure.
Okay.
Fucking outro.
Every time.
I mess up the intro too. Okay.
Okay.
We hope you are all enjoying reading and discussing this news.
I don't know. I'm so sorry.
Here
I'm
we
so
go.
sorry. I don't even know where that came from. I'm so sorry.
I get my pulled together and then you start laughing again.
You took a deep breath and I don't know why. It's your breathing.
I
Apparently,
was
it's funny. I don't
centering
know.
myself. We hope you are all enjoying reading and discussing this new series with us.
Want to be a bookcast member? Then do all the social media things like, follow, comment, and subscribe.
Next week, we will be continuing Book 2 in the Ashen Series by Demi Winters, Kingdom of Claw, chapters 28 through 59.
So, to avoid spoilers for yourself, please be sure to read through chapter 59 before coming back to listen to the next episode.
If you can't wait to talk about it, you can do so over on the Fable app and discuss with us spoiler-free chapter by chapter.
And as always, buddy reading any book with Book Besties is so much fun.
So make sure to share our podcast with your book besties, and if you don't have any book besties,
then become one of ours. And until next week, fill those drinks with ice.
And your books with spice.
Bye.
Bye.
I almost made it.
You were holding that in so bad.
Whatever, it's over. It's fine. We're good. Bye.
Bye.